and watch the steps cook.
You want 17 birds? Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. Hit my line if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. Yeah, I'm from the 17.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I'm the best reporting on the Eagles. Listen, man, before we get into the meat and potatoes, make sure you tapping in with the print champs. Get your Hurt Season hats, beanies, scullies, all of that stuff. All Lil Brunson merchandise will be found there. The link will be in the description for this video as well. And I got to thank y'all one more time, man, for the way y'all been streaming Patient Zero, man. Getting a lot of positive phone calls, a lot of record label talks that happening surrounding the project, and the way you guys been rocking with it. So shout out to y'all for that as well. But let's get into it real quick, man. So listen, it's been a long week for Philadelphia Eagles fans. It's been a long week for me. I'm ready to get back into the swing of things in terms of Eagles football and see, what we got to take care of in terms of, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this isn't the keys to victory video, but I want to touch on a couple of things. We can't sleep on nobody, Pittsburgh included. Everybody wants to give us their best shot because everybody wants to take that O away from our record and put a number there. Everybody want to say they beat us. No, so far, nobody has been able to say that about the 2022 Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm trying to keep it that way as long as possible. Listen, as my guy E-Rock said, an L monster is coming somewhere. But you know what I mean? It's hard to pin it because we better than the majority of the teams that we play the rest of the way during the season. So we just got to see how that shake out, man. The NFC East is back. You know what I mean? The NFC Beast, that's what I'm going to call it, man. Teams are really, really putting on for their fan bases. Teams are really out here, you know what I'm saying, trying to win every game. You can't come out here and slack just because of the competition in your division alone. Everybody is winning, and everybody is winning. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We got to take care of our business. We can't worry about what nobody else. As long as we take care of our business, we fine. It's looking like that we're on a collision course for the New York Giants. If they don't start taking some L's pretty soon, we're gonna have to be the ones that got to go out there, you know what I mean, and slap them around real quick. But I'm really looking forward to it, man. Trade deadline, man. It's a lot of different ways we can skin this cat, y'all. A lot of different ways. But before we get into that, a familiar face was just signed to the practice squad. My guy Greg Ward is back in the building. The familiarity is there. You know what I mean? I don't know the meaning of that because we really don't need no wide receivers. But, it's that time of the year where we got to start looking towards, getting deep. You know what I'm saying? Let's start looking towards, getting deep. You never know what can happen. You never know. And I think that, Howie Roseman is a smart enough GM to say, all right, let's make some stuff happen. You know what I mean? So shout out to Greg Ward being available. We talk about Brian Burns quite a lot over the last week or so in the Philadelphia Eagles community. That deal is not off of the table right now. I heard they turned down two first-round picks. I don't know what they got going on in Carolina. That's not really our business, but there are other guys that we could be looking at that can help this football team. I'm hearing that Kareem Hunt could be on a trading block out there in Cleveland. That's a guy that will help us a lot. We kind of forget about running backs because the offense has been moving, pretty efficiently. We kind of been forgetting about running backs, but we did hear that, the Philadelphia Eagles did throw their hat in the ring for one Christian McCaffrey. So it wouldn't surprise me if we went out there and got a guy like Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, I think, fits our style more than a Christian McCaffrey type running back does. You know what I mean? Once you get Christian McCaffrey, you know what I mean? You kind of got to tailor your offense to making sure that he gets the adequate amount of touches, just like A.J. Brown does. Kareem Hunt is perfectly fine with playing complimentary ball. He's been behind Chubb over there for a while. He knows what it takes to win. So you know what I mean? Kareem Hunt is a guy that I'm looking at. Chubb from the Denver Broncos. A lot of people have been talking about that as well. I got to do a little bit more research on Chubb. I know Chubb is a dog. He got 5.5 sacks. But Chubb, from my opinion, is much more of a linebacker, and I feel like we pretty set up strong right there. We strong at linebacker. We looking for somebody that could come off the edge and do some damage. Now, if Chubb got some snaps coming off the edge doing some damage, which he might possibly have, being as though he's 5.5 sacks on the season, that's a large number. That will be leading our team right now. You know what I mean? We need a guy that's aggressive like that. So I'm not opposed to Chubb. I'm not opposed to Brian Burns. I'm not opposed to getting Kareem Hunt in the building. But my guy, Robert Quinn, is the guy for me. You know what I mean? That would be my pick because, this is a guy that just comes to work and he knows what he has to do. You're talking about a guy that damn near had 20 sacks last season. At his age, still being able to put in work. You know what I mean? I know that he still got some money on the table over there with Chicago, but the money and the picks, it don't mean nothing right now, man. Like I said in my last video, you're chasing a Super Bowl. You chasing something different. You're not out here just trying to be great for me. You're not really trying to build no more. You're trying to put this team to the ultimate test and see how far you can go. We proved that by bringing in guys like Bradbury. We proved that by bringing in AJ Brown. You see what I'm saying? We proved that by getting all of these weapons over the last few years, by drafting Jordan Davis. We proved that by doing these things that we're trying to win right now. We're not really waiting, man. We're not really waiting. People want to say our quarterback need more development. We're going to try to win while he's developing. You know what I mean? And the method seems to be a really, really good one for Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles. So where do you go if you're the Philadelphia Eagles? What's the priority? Is running back a priority over edge rusher? I don't think so. I think you got to get somebody that can have an impact on the defensive side of the ball. As great as this defense has been performing, this is a top 5 defense. Make no mistake about that. You still want to be able to get to the quarterback relentlessly. You want to be able to get to the quarterback relentlessly. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are just lacking that just a little bit. Now, we played some great offenses. Every offense that we played so far, with the exception of the Dallas Cowboys, I believe, was in the top 16 in the top half of offense this upcoming season. Usually good offenses have good offensive lines. So you know what I mean? You're not really worried about that. But, you know, somebody brought to my attention that if you take the sacks away from the Washington Commanders game, the game don't look as stout. You know, the team don't look as stout in terms of, you know, a sack catching group. We got to find that same fire that we found against the Commanders. We got to start beating dudes off the ball and getting to the quarterback. We've been getting close a lot. We weren't able to get there to Cooper Rush. You know what I mean? But we was able to get key hurries and key pressures that help alter a few throws. So, you know what I mean? You got to take what you can get. But we want sacks. We want to start getting dudes off the field. You know what I mean? We want, you know, if we were able to get more pressure, that would be greater for our DBs. You know what I mean? Guys will have to rush throws and guys will have to throw throws at different times. Therefore, you know what I mean? Some of those pass deflections that we getting could definitely be interceptions if we got these guys rushing. We can force some intentional grounders. I haven't seen any intentional grounders this year by the Philadelphia Eagles. That is a sign of a defensive line that's not really getting home, if you ask me. So it's a lot of different ways you can skin this one, man. And it's always that Howie Roseman is probably going to pull the trigger on something that we're not even thinking about. So far, we've been on the same page with Howie Roseman. We've been talking about Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean in the draft. We've been talking about, you know what I mean, getting a wide receiver before the draft last year. So far, Howie Roseman has been listening to us. As of right now, Howie Roseman is still listening to us based upon the guys that he's looking at and the guys that he's targeting. Howie Roseman is just like us all. Howie Roseman gets an inch of success, a sliver of success, and he wants to replicate that. He wants to duplicate that success. How do you duplicate this success? By doing the things that made you successful in the first place. Championship team, man. We trying to build something right here. You know what I mean? The Pittsburgh Steelers are coming to town Sunday, home game for us. I'm not worried about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm mindful of Mike Tomlin. That's the difference, man. People got to understand what that means. I'm not worried about the Pittsburgh Steelers on a talent level. I am mindful of Mike Tomlin, man. You always got to be mindful of a head coach that can get guys ready to play. You see what's happening over there in New York. You know what I mean? With the Giants, they coach can get them guys ready to play. You got to be mindful of guys like that because coaching ultimately turns the tide. So as long as you got a Mike Tomlin as a head coach, us as Philadelphia Eagles fans got to respect our opponent on Sunday because everybody trying to knock us off. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Who should we be really looking at, man? Greg Ward is back. What's the meaning of that? It is what it is, man.